So let's say you want to save some money and buy a laptop from eBay. Is it worth buying one that's classified as a C-grade laptop? Well, I've just spent a bit of money, but I did save a little bit of money for the fact that this thing is apparently not in very good condition. So my question is it worth buying a C-grade laptop just to save a bit of money? And is the damage and whatever cosmetic problems it have actually a real problem? Let's open up this package and see exactly what I got. What exactly did 128 Australian dollars or roughly 85 US dollars get me? And I've been waiting a few months to find that answer out, as I bought this back in June of 2024. This may even be the original box that this laptop came in, originally being sold in 2020. Inside I got the original 65-watt USB-C charger, which could be used to power lots of other USB devices, the setup guide, and the laptop itself encased securely in some foam. Straight away I find the first cosmetic defect. The rubber foot on the base has almost come off. And the other one is missing entirely, but that's not super important, at least to me. But strangely enough, what I assume is one of the USB-C ports appears to be blocked by a piece of rubber. The icon next to it implies that it's used as a power connector. Is there a good reason that this port is blocked? Is it like a dummy port or something? And what lies within doesn't look too bad. The seller has covered up the crack near the trackpad, and they've left instructions as to which port you should charge it from. Worst of all, the iconic red pointer nub is absent. You can hardly call this a ThinkPad without the nub. The fact that this laptop can be powered via USB-C means you can charge it and run it easily off of a battery bank. And why not charge a small device or battery bank using the ecoflow 12-watt power hat? It's got a 360-degree solar panel brim, meaning it doesn't matter which way you're facing. Capture that solar energy from all angles without any blind spots. It's also IP65 water and dust resistant, meaning it's ready for whatever the outdoors have to throw at you. It'll even power two devices simultaneously from the USB Type-C and A connectors. Conveniently capture the sun's energy and protect yourself from the sun using the power hat today. It'll be a great addition to your next outdoor adventure. The power hat is also easy to carry and folds up neatly into the included travel bag. So whether you're out exploring the world or getting a job done, the dual-purpose 12-watt power hat is a great addition to your outdoor life. But if you need a bit more power, why not check out ecoflow's many portable power stations if a solar hat just won't cut it? Click my link below to find out more and check out the early bird deals. And thanks to ecoflow for sponsoring today's video. Powering it up, it boots straight into Windows 11 without any issue. It's got 8GB of RAM in dual channel mode, an i3 CPU, and a 256GB SSD as advertised. As this laptop was sold as used and not refurbished, I figured it could do with some cleaning. A bit of eucalyptus oil got rid of some of the grubbiness on the surface, but there are some scratches. The screen hinge is thankfully tight and in good shape with an excellent range of motion. The panel itself is just dirty, and after a wipe with some lens cleaner, it was pretty much spotless. I have definitely seen far worse laptops from eBay. Clearly this wasn't used too excessively throughout its lifespan. And aside from some minor cosmetic issues, are there any other problems? Well, not that I can see. And honestly, this is a very good laptop for business and school. Taking full advantage of the USB-C ports means you can run a whole multi-monitor desk setup through a single cable. Your mileage may vary, however, depending on what USB-C dock you have. Even though this is clearly a budget-friendly device, the port selection is good. And I wish the microSD card was a regular size one though. And the USB port that was covered doesn't appear to work as it's a dummy. What is cool though is that you can charge devices from the USB port on the left side even when the laptop is turned off. I've only ever seen this feature on Lenovo laptops. They're full of quirky features, like this standby light that's also part of the logo. But a feature this laptop is missing is the smart card. This particular model didn't come with one, only a dummy card that you can't take out. As it was made for business and school use, it did come with a webcam featuring a physical privacy switch. But what exactly is the quality like? And here we have the Lenovo L13's built-in microphone and built-in webcam, shooting at 720p at 30 frames per second. Being one of the newest laptops I've covered on this channel, is it very upgradable? And before we take this apart, a huge congratulations to Todd Hazelwood for becoming a V8 Supercar Bathurst champion. Funnily enough, we both went to the same school here in Adelaide. He races cars and I make videos about old ones occasionally. And after loosening off all the visible screws on the base, I gently pried up the casing around the edges. Straight away I spot that one of the screws to hold the battery in simply wasn't screwed in.
One of the other screws wasn't tight either, so I'm guessing the original battery was toast and perhaps the seller put a better one in. The battery in here lasts around 3 hours, which is fine, but you could always run it off of a USB-C power bank for longer computing on the go. You can thankfully upgrade the solid state storage and swap out the Wi-Fi card, but that RAM is not user replaceable sadly, meaning I'm stuck with only 8 GB, which is fine for basic tasks, but this limitation means that games like PUBG would crash due to it running out of memory. You've got to remember that the Intel UHD graphics also share that 8 GB of RAM. Everything in here is pretty easy to remove if you need to replace a singular part. That ease of access extends to the cooling system, which is held in place by just 6 screws. It popped off once the thermal compound had separated, and that old paste is rather crusty, definitely not great for the transfer of heat away from the processor. The fan is also a bit dusty, and aside from a long hair jammed inside, it looks pretty clear. A bit of corrosion near the edge suggests that it may have been used in a humid environment. In fact, around the hinges some corrosion can also be seen, and just to be sure, I opened up the fan and there was no debris clogging the vents. The fan is very slim, so it would easily be blocked if hair and dust was to build up, and using some isopropyl alcohol I softened the old paste before wiping it off. And if you've got your own laptop, redoing the thermal paste every few years is good to lower the processor temperatures and likely extend the life of the device. This CPU isn't particularly power hungry with a default TDP of just 15 watts, meaning battery life is reasonable while still delivering good performance with a boost frequency of up to 4.1 GHz. The copper sheet on the base may also be in place to protect your legs from cooking as the laptop sits on your lap. Now some new thermal paste can go on, the ever-reliable Arctic MX4. The only thing I'd really improve inside here is having upgradable RAM, but Lenovo didn't opt for that, likely to bring down costs. Relievingly, the laptop still works, but what is it good for? I ran a screen calibration test which revealed that it's not great, but gamut coverage on all color spaces is pretty bad, so you're not going to use this for photo editing. And the low-end hardware will handle word processing with ease, and the keyboard is great to type on. Even though it's not particularly powerful, the Intel UHD graphics are capable of some basic 3D tasks. And a single-core CPU test suggests that it's pretty good, but it is let down by the low number of cores for more demanding tasks. The included SSD is also insanely fast for such a cheap laptop, and of course, basic games are very playable. Old school RuneScape runs effortlessly on here. The latest version of Minecraft also runs fine. The laptop's stereo speakers are also decently loud. If you're a fan of older games, this can handle most of them pretty well honestly, and 4K YouTube playback is also fine on this machine. It's a little bit damaged, but overall this is a very usable device. Even without the iconic pointer nub, the normal trackpad is pretty great, and for the price I paid, the gamble was definitely worth it.
Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this little experiment seeing if it's worth buying a C-grade laptop. You do take a bit of a gamble buying something like this because you never know exactly what kind of condition it's going to be in. Who knows, you might even get lucky and it could be better than the seller actually advertises. But is it worth the risk just to save a bit of money? Probably not. Thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I've got many more coming real soon. Although for me, real soon, I don't even know what that means. I hope to get these videos out faster now that I've got my own little space. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.